Phenomenal, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the last speaker for the morning session. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. I'm Yavuz Selim Silay, joining from Turkey. Let me share my screen. All righty. So basically, my name is Yavuz Selim Silay. I'm a physician entrepreneur. I'm the chairman of Istanbul Consulting Group, which is one of the top management consulting groups in MENA region. I also own a television channel broadcasting to Africa in English and French to 900 million viewers in 40 countries. We also focus on healthcare investment and entrepreneurship in Turkey and Middle East and Europe. I am the co-founder and partner of an angel investors network, and also the president of Society of Physician Entrepreneur, which is based in United States, so I represent in Turkey. I'm also at Rutgers University Center for Innovation and Education in New Jersey, United States of America. So with that, this is our office in Ankara. You're always welcome if you stop by in Ankara. We'll be honored to host you in Turkey. And basically, I have a background in pharmaceutical and medtech. I was an academician at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston, Texas for 5 years, and then moved to the dark side, to pharmaceutical. And the pharma side, I started with a generic company and had the opportunity to submit 11 ANDAs in St. Louis, Missouri, called KV Pharmaceutical. And then I worked at Forest Pharmaceutical in Jersey City, which was later acquired by Allergan. And then I had the honor and pleasure of working at in Overland Park, Kansas, as the former director of Teva Pharmaceutical. So I managed the Parkinson's and neurology side in medical affairs in Kansas. And then I was the vice president of Ipsen, which is top 4 pharma for France. So I helped our French colleagues enter the US market for their Dysport product and building their medical affairs team. And then I received an invitation from the Turkish Ministry of Health with the collaboration of World Bank. I came to Turkey and supported the amazing healthcare reform in Turkey, which is actually helping a lot now with COVID-19. We have an amazing infrastructure here in Turkey with more than 40 big city hospitals. So as a former World Bank consultant, I worked here in Turkey. I also had the opportunity to work for all the global pharmaceutical companies, non-government organization known as Association of Research-Based Companies. So I was the former director of market access and health policy, helping our global company, Novartis, Pfizer, GSK, all of them, 41 company in managing their market access. And then I was the general manager of the largest distributor of Siemens Healthcare. So I had more experience in vitro diagnostic. And with those now, I'm focusing on an amazing medtech revolution in treating cancer, and also focusing on healthcare investments and globalizing companies, and also representing companies in Ankara, Brussels, and Washington, D.C. Basically, I want to today talk about, starting with industry 1.0 to 4.0. We have seen an amazing, jump, starting with the steam-operated machines to electrical serial manufacturing to automation, and then finally in the 21st century, we have all these, virtualization now picking up, with AR and VR, install-based arrays in 2010, and IoT starting in 2000. So now we're at a time with, from Industry 4.0, focusing on cyber physical systems and smart manufacturing. And when we look at the structure of Industry 4.0, there are autonomous robots, simulation, system integration, Internet of Things, big data and analysis, cloud, augmented reality, 3D printers, as well as cybersecurity. All of them, one way or another, applies to healthcare and also pharma. And today we had the opportunity to listen to how robotics can impact, how artificial intelligence can impact in drug discovery, and also the in silico drug, the discovery. We had amazing, talks. So this is just a general picture. And the idea of, when we look at the World Economic Forum, the idea is how we can unlock $100 trillion for business and society from digital transformation. And COVID-19 only speed this up. So this was an analysis of 10 industries from 2016 to 2025. And there are clear opportunities of reduction of carbon dioxide emissions, and of course, in exchange, losing jobs as well. But many repetitive jobs will be lost. And healthcare is also another area where we see huge initiatives coming, in digitalization. We talk about smart care, where actually precision medicine, robotics, and medical printing are making healthcare smarter and more personalized. We talk about care anywhere, where we are actually focusing more and more on the opportunities around IoT, where we can care people using virtual care and connected home initiatives. We talk about empowered care, where the digital economy can now deliver a wide range of living services for the patient engagement and empower citizens to manage their own health care, such as preventing the onset of chronic conditions and diabetes and other diseases. We're also talking about intelligent health enterprises, about the advances in the data collection, the storage, and analytics that have been accompanied with the proliferation of the data, from sensors to devices to clinical information systems and electronic health records. There are many brands which I will not talk about. But at the end, we are talking about augmenting the human capabilities through new technologies. Technologies augmenting our professional abilities to do, to think, to learn, to feel, and from cognition to memory, to do things, to feel things, and including what Elon Musk is coming up with, the new developments. There are many new developments coming in the pharma, medtech, and biotechnology, which is exciting as well as scary for some. So at the end, in many parts of the world where access is still a huge problem, the vision is to build the healthcare system of the future, where the continuous monitoring, retail clinics, connected homes, seamless financing, auto-patient access, virtual care circles, omni-channel experience, and augmented vein finding, intelligent treatments, and also having full access to your own data as an empowered patient, having virtual care teams, intelligent machines, coordinated ecosystem, and connected care. Today's model of healthcare is now unsustainable. And depending on how the societies are developed, the societies and the healthcare systems are transforming through the healthcare system of the future. I want to also highlight a little bit of the big data in healthcare, if you don't mind. Now, we clearly see in clinical research, in preventive medicine, analysis of preventing unnecessary usage of medical instruments, in fraud prevention, in public health and risk management, in patient relations management, coaching, as well as real-time patient monitoring. The big data has been utilized tremendously, and it's only growing. Some examples are detecting fraud in payment of $12 billion Medicaid program in the United States. In 20 largest healthcare services company, suspected claim costs have been reduced in the first 6 months, almost 99% decrease by using big data. Another one for pro-BTP in France, in optical sector, in 9%, in dental health sector, 14% suspected claims have been captured, and about 40 million euro in 21 months have been captured. In South Africa, similarly, for Discover Health, 2.6 million customers had the related healthcare insurance claims and billing errors and fraud, and $25 million has been received. When you look at Korea also, using big data in cost management and applications, you have seen Korea also using it smartly, and our Korean colleagues have said they increase their profitability about $1.4 billion and decrease their debt about 12%. And also, they were able to 50% faster identify the fraud and better customer experience in proper claim management. Also, in managing the diseases like chronic disease, asthma and diabetes, using like asthma pulse, GPS-based regional inhaler utilization, or diabetes patient management using mobile apps, and other health data alliances like the one in Pittsburgh, we clearly see big data is being used. The challenge is the growing volumes of available data and the declining storage and computing costs. And I think the solution is the health apps that enable the complete remote care journey. We see more and more with COVID-19. And also, actually, there's a joke. They're saying, who actually transformed your company or your hospital or your business? The number one is your CEO, number two is CFO, number three is COVID-19. Clearly, COVID-19 has digitalized and actually forced us towards remote care in many parts of the world. And the healthcare organizations also transformed themselves because of this new analytical approach and new digitalization situation. So clearly, we see a clear healthcare 4.0 wave moving forward very fast and passing through pharma, medical device, as well as drug development. And teleradiology has become extremely important in recent years. And I know many Turkish companies operating in Africa because I broadcast to Africa to 900 million viewers. And we see many Turkish companies actually building digital healthcare and diagnostics across Africa, and then do tele-reading using teleradiology and providing services from Istanbul, from Ankara remotely. And clearly, and $4 billion was the estimate for 2019. Now it is moving up to $8 billion. So when we look at the concept of health 4.0, precision medicine and the rapidly progressive evolution of smart pharmaceuticals in chronic and non-communicable diseases are extremely important. And there are huge changes in the healthcare systems, which no one can deny. The buzzwords are individualized medicine, precision medicine, mobile health, and the fifth generation mobile networks, especially a trend towards virtualization and transition from manufacturing, for example, of pharmaceutical products to service provision is happening across Europe, United States, and Turkey, as well as the rest of the world. The e-health data has become also extremely important. There is an interactive nature of Health 4.0 introducing an complexity, and that's why using the smart devices, whether you have your iPhone, your Android, whatever you have, you want to have access to your own e-health data. And Turkey has become one of the success stories using the e-pulse system. 84 million Turkish people have full access to their own data. They are able to actually arrange a quick appointment with their physician within 1 minute and able to meet their physicians in the next day. There's an amazing opportunity for access to physicians here in Turkey, which may sway the physicians but at the same time, the public is extremely happy for having access to physicians whenever they want and need. So similarly, the MRI, all of them and other treatments as part of precision medicine and smart pharmaceutical is becoming very important, And with that, of course, comes privacy issues, right? How to actually making sure you're able to protect the privacy of the patients and still provide access to the right physician, to the right patient at the right time before it's too late, including emergencies, including surgeries. There is also a concept of surgery 4.0 rising at the moment. The digitalization of surgery is now a growing concept. Even my brother, he is a professor on pediatric urology, and everyone is pretty much using in Turkey and around Europe all these robotic surgery devices, Avicenna and others in treating their patients. So clearly, the development of surgical and patient models and the new devices and instruments are also becoming more and more human interfaced and human user-friendly. And at the same time, we see with the digitalization, the new challenge of worldwide health markets and more efficient healthcare services, reduce healthcare costs, increase customer service, increase quality. As people see more, like even for the Turkey example, since I was part of the integral in the health, the demand of the population is also increasing. Once you bring the population health access to a certain level, then the demand is also increasing, and access to medications and access to treatments and doctors and pharmacists and health insurances and therapists are increasing exponentially. With that, patient expectations are changing. Many patients are taking it granted using health app. In many physician colleagues I have in California, in Istanbul, they're prescribing health apps for their patients. Instead of prescribing medications, they're prescribing, okay, you need this as a health app for yourself to actually not just treat your disease, but also prevent the disease before it happens. So virtual medical appointments are now the reality of this time. And clearly, the disruptive healthcare trends are coming up. And if pharmaceutical companies don't prepare for the coming waves of change, we may not have an industry in some parts of the world. So on one hand, my colleagues in pharma, they say we don't want to miss the train of digital health, but on the other hand, if they don't act fast, there are no trains to catch, frankly speaking. So when we look at the R&D departments of pharma companies, the technological developments changing actually, as my dear colleague from United Kingdom nicely mentioned, I think Martin has done an amazing job, and he highlighted, how important is changing the old way of the labs, right? And moving also how Dr. Goldblum beautifully talked about the in silico, trials, and how using not just in lab, but performing clinical trials in silico is for many startups that are focusing now, that we are also in our portfolio, we see that clearly. So how to save costs of spending billions of dollars and waiting for years and test thousands of drug targets in seconds on billions of patient models without the need for testing drugs on real people. So this is the dream, right? So what if you can recruit the right patients for these trials through digital methods more easily and much more cheaply? That is the goal. So, and there are many trends that will shape the pharma and is shaping the pharma at the moment. And one of them is empowered patients. I see many patients, colleagues, they empower themselves if they find the means. They actually start their own biotech companies in Turkey, in Europe, and United States, and around the world. They know what pharma and other medical companies are working on, and they communicate with fellow patients and their caregivers and follow the companies on social media. And so empowered patients have high expectations. If those are not met, patients find their own solutions. Also, talking about augmented and virtual reality, with devices such as Google's digital contact lens, Microsoft HoloLens, and Oculus Rift, it gives us a new view of the world through digital information. So patients can see how the drug works in 3D in front of their eyes, instead of just reading long descriptions on the bottle. And lab workers could monitor their experiments with augmented reality equipment, which is already happening in many parts of the world. And in factories, workers could start working without hands-on trainings, as the device would tell them what to do and how to do it. So we're talking about truly personalized medicine, ladies and gentlemen. With the genomics, personalized medicine now enable us to receive therapy customized to our own molecular makeup. So today's healthcare cannot manage this complexity. For example, you have a huge text file containing your own data, your DNA data, which you can take to your doctor and hope to receive personalized drugs instead of the blockbusters that are manufactured for the average of millions of people who are all genetically and metabolically different. So what if a digital health company can quickly connect the dots for the patient regarding genomic background and susceptibility for drugs and dosages? If big pharma won't provide the tailored medicine patients will demand, they will go elsewhere and they will build their own. The 3D printed drugs, as you know, the first 3D printed drug was Spiritam that dissolves quickly and in use in epilepsy was approved by the FDA in 2015. So the first digital pill was approved by the FDA, which is a huge improvement for rationalized drug usage. What if small companies come up with other solutions for creating drugs that can be metabolized faster and reach the market more easily because of this manufacturing methods? The whole pharma supply chains will have to be redesigned, right? Within years, perhaps even months. And COVID-19 actually created even more reason of local, supply chains, including locally printed drugs, where you can actually access your own personalized medicine. This is not too far, ladies and gentlemen. And those companies are even in our portfolio, and many other investment portfolios are, growing these startup companies, including Turkey and United States. Body sensors are also extremely important, right? There are already sensors that measure crucial vital signs cheaply and comfortably, and then you just place on inside the body. It's more focused on wellness, but the success of clinical trials largely depends on how medical professionals collect data about their patient. I was in the United States, always in clinical trial design. And imagine automating this process through the new generation of health sensors that's in development now. I also see, clearly that the experts are estimating about the non-adherence or non-compliance of medication costs more than $100 billion a year. Much of it is because patients get sicker and need additional treatment or hospitalization. So that's for, it's extremely important to utilize artificial intelligence in drug development. Medical decision-making with artificial intelligence is extremely important. And also using the supercomputers where actually it can test thousands of drug targets and billions of simulations modeling, where Dr. Amiram Goblam beautifully explained, we clearly see it is becoming faster and faster. So I don't want to bore you to that, but at the end, the regulators, as we see on COVID-19, had to change, right? We received so many vaccination approvals. I already did both of my vaccinations. I have my antibody, and many people around the world, thanks to this amazing innovation, and thanks to the regulators acting now faster, even though they're not giving an approval, at least they're giving a permission to use the vaccinations. And clearly now the pharma industry is reacting more quickly and effectively with COVID-19. So I see more drugs coming from this process, and COVID-19 might be an opportunity for the pharma companies which are thinking outside the box and expediting their drug development. And I know with that, I have many other slides, but I want to stop here and just finally talking about the global trends in healthcare. Clearly, the technology is now improving the efficacy of research and development and enabling many more medical breakthroughs. Digitalization is holding the key to improving drug development and supply chain management, which much more efficiency and transparency that can result in better and cheaper drugs and healthcare. Digitalization and computing power of artificial intelligence cut the time significantly in research and development. Wearable devices, head, ear, eyes, body, arm, wrist, legs, feet, everywhere is becoming a norm now. Empowered patients and personalized data, real-time information. Information is the key, and real-time information is the top data that we need in also phase 4 clinical trials. Better clinical trials using artificial intelligence and robotics. Digital pills, improved drug development and supply chain management using AI. Immunotherapy, gene therapy, personalized medicine, and healthcare tourism enhancements in locations like Turkey and others, which have saved COVID-19 environment, is one of the trends that I see happening nowadays in globally in healthcare. So with that, as a physician, I want to also provide advice to my young physician entrepreneurs. the biomedical and health innovation will be the only way out for our global care crisis. And we will need increasing numbers of talented, passionate, dedicated physician entrepreneurs to be part of the solution. Seeing 20 to 50 patients a day for 40 years is one way to add value, and that's extremely valuable. But creating companies that can change the lives of millions of patients, employs hundreds, and adds a substantial economic boost to the regional and global economies and other. And this is the path that I prefer, and many other physician entrepreneurs are focusing and combining their medical background with their business and marketing background to actually create new companies and trying to change lives of millions of patients. And when I look at it, we see the top 10 pharma companies, Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Roche, Novartis, Merck, GlaxoSmithKline, Sanofi, AbbVie, Takeda, and Shanghai Pharmaceuticals with their valuation. And clearly, COVID-19 has also actually, shaped this ranking a little bit. But overall, more of these global companies will continue focusing on R&D and more innovative ways of building their pipeline and providing access for patients. And finally, I want to highlight about 10,000 tech companies have been founded in emerging markets since 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, almost half of them are outside China, coming from India, from Singapore, from Israel, from Brazil, Indonesia, Turkey, South Africa, and Nigeria. So this is the landscape in tech. And when we look at the emerging market tech landscape in healthcare, clearly also there is an increase in the emerging markets instead of China. So this is one of the recent success of Turkish entrepreneurs. And we just had 2 unicorns in different areas. So more and more unicorn companies are coming out in gaming, as well as using, gaming strategies for healthcare is an increased trend globally, as well as in Turkey. And what I can say is access to early stage investment has a material impact. And historically, when we look at the VC funding per capita, Israel has the highest of 423, and then United States 186, Europe 16, China 14, and Turkey 1. But this is changing, and the more VC funding is coming to the emerging markets, the more innovation is coming. And I want to highlight the European tech map for you. When we look at Europe, clearly every country in Europe has its own tech company that is growing, including healthcare. I want to give also a couple of examples. Turkey is now becoming a game changer and early stage investment hub. When we look at the European League, Turkey raised more than $100 million, but with the most recent peak game investment and also Getir, which opened up in London, now Turkey is in the Super League with United Kingdom, Germany, France, and Sweden, which is above $1 billion. So with having said that, I want to also highlight in healthcare as well as in general, the startup ecosystem, and we'll finalize my talk shortly. In 2010, ladies and gentlemen, you see a very empty Turkish startup ecosystem, which I'm contributing significantly. There is only one business angel network, couple tech accelerator funds, couple accelerators, couple technoparks. Please watch this carefully. This is 2010, and now I'm changing the slide to 2016. There's an snowballing of new angel investments networks, crowdfunding platforms, tech accelerator funds, and many more really flourishing across Turkey. And from 2016, let me show you 2020. Are you ready? This is 2020. It's very hard to even now, put it in one page, but the Turkish startup ecosystem, including the healthcare ecosystem, which I'm providing lots of, contribution, is growing immensely, which I'm really proud and excited about. And when you look at the Business Angel Investors Network, these are the current angel investors network in Turkey, and many of them are doing amazing investments into medical and healthcare, including digital healthcare companies, as well as early stage pharma. If you're interested, let me know. I'll be happy to support you in your growth. I also do lots of Clubhouse, which is a new media, investors meet up with startups we have the fastest growing investment club known as Investors Mastermind in Clubhouse. And every Wednesday, I'm bringing biotech and medtech startups with global investors. So just reach out to me on my LinkedIn, or check out when you click Yavuz Selim Silay or Yavuz Silay through Google, you will be able to reach directly through my LinkedIn account, and I'll be happy to host you on our next investment group. Also, crowdfunding is becoming extremely important in Turkey with the new legislations Recep Tayyip Erdogan announced today. So more and more crowdfunding is coming up, including a huge focus on healthcare and digital healthcare, as well as drug development. And there are many new deal rooms coming up and investment platforms. So these are exciting times for the United States, for Europe, as well as for emerging markets, including Turkey, for entrepreneurs who can think outside the box, who know how to build a good team, who know how to present, and who really creates the right innovation to help patients. They always will be found, and actually money will follow them. Trust me. With that, I want to go through some of the lectures I'm giving. This is typically, a 16 lecture that I give for any companies or any R&D hubs. I talk about the importance of commercialization research, importance of transitional research, trademark, copyright, the new concept of entrepreneurial doctor, entrepreneurial faculty, and how to utilize internet and social media to enhance your profile as an entrepreneurial academician, as a physician or PhD, and also the consulting, tech transfer and licensing agreements, the customer discovery and market validation, and the current grant opportunities for our medtech and biotech companies, including small business in US and Turkey. And then we talk about early stage funding. We support, I have contributed to more than 150 companies, business plans and pitches over the last 1 year in healthcare in Turkey, where we are actually taking them for investment globally and also in the United States and Europe. And then we are introducing and structuring and leading the research intensive company notion and how to move from R&D to manufacturing and the do's and don'ts of the drug and device development, including GMP, GCP, GLP, and GDP. And the vision of 2023, Turkey is actually moving toward, and the critical success factors, including for physician entrepreneurs, how to view from the trenches and applying what they learn. These are some of the lectures I give regularly, and actually we are bringing many healthcare-oriented companies from United States, from Europe and Turkey, and giving them opportunities to grow and taking them to the next step. With that, this is our television channel, NTR. This is the only Turkish television broadcasting through satellite. We broadcast from France using Eutelsat. We broadcast from Luxembourg using Astra 2G. And we also broadcast from Ankara using also a Turkish satellite, Turksat. And this is one of the programs I produce, ITP, which is Idea to Business, Innovation to Brands, every week, every Tuesday live, 1 p.m. British time, 4 p.m. Turkish time. You can also watch live ITV, as well as News Plus and other programs. Finally, I am very passionate about SOAP, Society of Physician Entrepreneur. We have a very strong network in the United States. Alan Mayers is an amazing physician in Colorado, and I had the opportunity to meet him when I was at Teva Pharmaceutical. Since then, over the last 12 years, I helped them set up their Jersey chapter, and then now I'm building the same ecosystem here in Turkey and MENA region, including Africa. So we are the largest global network, encouraging and educating, connecting physicians with new ideas, and encouraging physicians and other medical professional entrepreneurs and PhDs with ideas how to improve their healthcare ideas and explore the possibilities in terms of go-to-market process, which is the most important thing. I have amazing PhDs, amazing professors, but the go-to-market process is something they are not fond of. So we help them build and structure their amazing ideas and take them to the market and make them global. This is what SOAP does. And it's all about money. You would rather invest in a CEO who has failed a few times than a CEO who has never been there. So money should be used to create value, and value should be used to create money. Every company has only three resources: money, time, and people. Money is the first. So, reality will always get in the way of your business plan. So always be open to, always be flexible to pivot, and always be open to and bring new people in your team. When we see an investment, if I see only physicians in a team, this is actually negative for investors. Only engineers is negative, only PhD is negative. It's important to have a fundable CEO, a CFO, a marketing guy, a business development person, and really build with the right patent strategy, a true team that can understand the market and also do the right fundraising. That's what we do here as Istanbul Consulting Group. And hope is not a strategy. Every investor assumes it will take you twice as long and you need half as much money, but having plan B is part of plan A. A plan is useless unless you implement it. If you have visions, see an ophthalmologist. And credentials do not guarantee results. So, it's extremely important meshing cultures and values of business and medicine. And many physicians fail in business due to insensitivity, arrogance, micromanaging, and naivety. Successful physicians and business people develop an executive temperament. And, ethics is make a profit versus do no harm. Protect and patent versus publish or perish. Being the boss versus amicable relations with peers. Persuasion and ambiguity versus command and control. These are some of the cultures that needs to match. And as a physician who has done an executive MBA in Washington University Business School, I had the opportunity to match the medical culture with the business culture, which is helping. And when we talk about a great venture pitch, you need to have integrity, passion, experience, knowledge, skill, leadership, commitment, vision, realism, and coachability to become and really impress, the investors as well as your peers. Also, external validation is important. Realistic upside expectations. Never say untruths or things the venture capital doesn't understand. Be consistent in financials. No typos when you're presenting, and clean images and bullets in your deck are extremely important. And make sure to join soapnet.org and connect with me via LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to support the growth of many PhDs and physicians. That's what I'm really excited about. I also have a program which is called From Zero to Digital Healthcare Hero in 180 Days. If you reach out to me, I'll be happy to share this template and able to support you in terms of how to grow your business and create your minimal viable product. At least make sure you can get the attention of venture capital, and as well as private equities. And this is my book on big data. And with that, I want to thank you. This is one of the innovative SLA's healthcare ecosystems I'm working on. I want to thank you again on behalf of Istanbul Consulting Group, and wishing a wonderful rest of the meeting. Take care, all the best. This is Yavuz, and I'm done speaking. If you have any questions, you're welcome. My goal is always to, support amazing leaders like Amram and, Jordan, Marina, anyone here, Martin. And what you guys are doing is amazing. And we are here as your brothers in Turkey and the United States, trying to unite and grow this amazing research. This is what I'm excited about. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to take. I see, thanks, Amram, for your message. And any other general points or questions, you're welcome to share. Otherwise, we will give a break. And after the break, I think we will have our next speaker. Thank you very much. This is done in terms of moderation. This is all I have. I will have to join another meeting, but I will leave, with this. And I want to thank you again for your time.